Good morning. We're here at Big Rock Creek. I'm going to do a little stove demo here. I got this Bud bottle stove from Intense Angler, and it's got big and little holes alternating around here, and this thing is like a rocket. I also ordered this new alcohol stove from Zelf Stoves, and I've already opened this, but it's a kind of a re-unboxing, and it is the Fancy Feast stove. It was packed really nicely. I've already pulled this out once, so there's instructions here. There's a great little corrugated windscreen, the Fancy Feast stove, and a little measuring cup for measuring out your fuel. This has a piece of metal inserted into it for a pot stand, and around the edge is some wicking. You're supposed to pour the alcohol in and light the wicking and then set your pot on top. So anyways, these are the two stoves we're going to try out. I'm going to use the whoa, the dog just took off with the tripod here. That was interesting. Anyways, I have a Snow Peak 700, I believe this is, that I'm going to test boiling 2 cups of water in, and then I'm going to use the hot water to make some coffee and another Hawk Fiddles meal for lunch. So stay tuned. I'm going to make sure this came out all right before I continue. Alright, it's a bit windy today, so I'm going to get to this. Says to light the wick. We're lighting the wick. Something's lit there. It's feeling warm. Yep, it's going. I'm going to try to do this without the windscreen. That thing, whoa, that thing is fired up. All right, here we go. We're putting the pot on. Gonna put the lid on. Oh yeah, that's working. So I'm gonna start timing this and see how long it takes. And I'm not gonna leave this going. I'll check back with you in a minute. Okay, I ended up having to put a bit more fuel in there because I did have 2 cups of cold water. It probably, I don't know, I maybe had a ½ an ounce of fuel, and in about 5 minutes it was almost to a boil. So I think a little more fuel would have kicked it over the top. I don't know how much more filming I'm going to be able to do. A bunch of more people just showed up, and I just may not stay here too long, depending on how they act. Anyways, here's lunch for today. It's the Hawk Fiddles hash browns, sausage, and egg. Now, I have to be honest with you, it doesn't look very appetizing. It's kind of this weird brown color, but I'm gonna suspend judgment for now because that breakfast casserole they make is really good. So I'll be back in a little bit and give you my review of that. Digby, get out of that stove. Okay, the water is boiling, so I'm going to go ahead and pour some out here into my coffee. And set that back on there for a minute. I hope I have enough to put in the meal, so I've got to use 2 hands to do that. So I had to bag the tripod. Digby kept getting tangled up in it, so I'm going to pour the water and I'll be back in a second. Bud bottle stove going here. No fire steels today, I'm just using a lighter. It's easier to get the thing lit. I wish it was dark because when this thing blooms it's really cool. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and light it up. Oh yeah, there we go. Probably would be easier with a match, I don't know, maybe throwing some sparks in there. I should try it sometime. I am using the windscreen because it did get windy. Now, when this thing's ready to go, it blooms out the ports in the side of the bottle, which is really cool. So anyways, I've got almost 2 cups of water, and I'll be trying that out on a boil in a minute here. Got the hot vittles meal there in the cozy, and I got, I made a really nice cup of coffee right there. It's real strong. I used a Taster's Choice Instant and some of the one of my new favorites. It's Digby LOVES. It's an instant espresso. Ooh, yum yum, good stuff. I have to say, this little Intense Angler bottle stove, this thing is hot. It is one hot little stove. I do like the Fancy Feast stove, and I think I'm going to get a lot of use out of it. I like it a lot. I like how stable it is, and seems to get the job done. And I like that you just have to light that wick to get it going. It makes, you don't have to stick your hand down inside of it to try to get it lit or try to throw a spark into it with the fire steel. Anyways, yeah, boy, there's a lot of heat coming off that bottle stove. I mean, if you were cold, it would be a nice little heater for however long it takes to boil your water. Like I said, I got my coffee going here. Digby's over there on his little bed. He's probably gonna, he kind of likes to sit in the sun, don't you, boy? Except there's some little black flies that are kind of bugging him, but well, he's just gonna have to kind of get used to that. Anyways, here's the Medaglia di Oro. It's like $3.49, I think I paid for it at Ralph's for 2 ounces, but let me tell you, it lasts a long time. It's a real fine dark powder, and it's instant espresso coffee, and it has a really good flavor, and if you're using some other kind of instant coffee, really adds some pizzazz to it. I like it a lot. I've been using it on a regular basis now. Water should be boiling pretty soon. I have to wait 20 minutes for the meal there to rehydrate. One thing I've really learned with these, especially the hawk vittles, you don't put too much water in it. It says to just barely cover it, and they're not kidding, because if you don't pay attention to that, you put too much water in, then it's real soupy. Close that up there so the heat doesn't get out. Anyways, so onwards and upwards. I'll be back soon. Well, silly me, I didn't put enough fuel in there again. You know, I don't know where they get the idea you can do it on like ½ an ounce or 3/4 of an ounce of fuel. I'm just not getting those sorts of results. I am about 4,000 feet, so I don't know if the altitude is making a difference. It might. Anyways, just kind of waiting for everything to settle here. I think I'm done with the stove thing. Everybody knows how they work. I was just kind of doing a little test for myself and seeing how things were going to work out here. I do like both stoves. I'm going to keep using them. Got a hair on there. Let's get that off. Anyways, yeah, so it's all good. Okay, those 2 trees right there, if all goes well, are soon going to be holding my hammock. I'm going to wait till after I'm done fiddling with the stoves and the food and everything, and I'm going to go hang it up, and Digby and I are going to chill for a bit. Thought I'd zoom around the campground here. There's a great big hill that's right behind where I'm parked, and it's really, really steep. It goes up to a ridge. I've looked on it on Google satellite, and there is some kind of tree cover or something down behind it. Not sure exactly what it is, but it looked interesting. I'm not going to climb up there, but anyways, I thought I'd point out something that I just found out last week, which was really kind of funny and interesting all at the same time. I think it was back in 1974. There was some woman that was staying at this very campground, which is Sycamore Flat off of Big Rock Creek Road, and she claims to have seen a Bigfoot here. So I thought that was really cool. I mean, it is very remote out here. I mean, you can see back up that way. It's, you know, just goes on and on. I think it goes, this road's about 6 miles long, and it ends at a place called Camp Fenner, which is a conservation honor camp. And last time I was up there, you couldn't get past that camp. There's supposedly another campground up there called Big Rock. I may check that out again today to see what's cooking. Anyways, across the road there is a big gravel riverbed that has Big Rock Creek flowing through it. Behind that are some hills covered with some scrub oak. Now, I gotta tell you, if there was a Bigfoot around here, you know, maybe, maybe not. And no one's seen one since then. There was a flurry of sightings here and in the not San Fernando Valley, the Antelope Valley, Quartz Hill, Palmdale area. They were saying they were seeing large hairy beasts roaming around. But I can't find any reports of any new sightings since then, and that was like 40 some odd years ago. So I don't know, maybe those Bigfoots are all aged and dead by now, who knows. Anyways, I gotta tell you, I'd love to see one though. It just would, I don't know, probably scare the pants off me, but I'd still like to see it. Anyways, this is a really gorgeous place. We got some snow on the mountains up here from the last storm that came through on Friday. And yeah, wow, that's really pretty. All right, I'm gonna come back over here, and I think the food's just about ready, and it's a good thing because I'm getting hungry. Some of the people that were here left, and I'm glad. I just felt like some quiet today. There was some people down the way. They've got, it looks like a couple of beagles and another dog, and they took them down in the riverbed. So anyways, enough blah 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 blah. I'll let you know how the meal is very shortly. Okay, we're done with the cooking here. The wind keeps coming up, and it's kind of funky. Anyways, here's the Hammock victuals reconstituted somewhat. I gotta tell you, it's still kind of nasty looking. So anyways, I'm gonna try a bit here and see how she rolls. Yeah, I don't like eating out of these things. It's kind of a pain, so I'm just gonna pull it out. Interesting. Not a lot of flavor. Could use some onions. Might have to put some hot sauce on this. I would say if if you were looking for a kind of a bland breakfast, you know, you weren't in the mood for anything spicy or sweet or anything like that, this would be perfect. I'm having a hard time getting past the color of it. It's really funky looking. I don't know if you can see that, but it gotta tell you, it's kind of unappetizing. And I do love their meals, don't get me wrong. This one, probably won't order this one again. I'm gonna try it with some hot sauce and see what happens. You can see this is a good portion, and this is supposed to be for one person. Wow, amazing. Anyway, I'm gonna throw some hot sauce on there and see how that does. Okay, here's me and Buddy in the hammock. I managed to get it set up. I think it's a little too tight, but anyways, I'm not gonna be laying in it too long. I think I've got to loosen something up here. It's not supposed to be that tight. Anyways, I think Digby likes it. I'm trying to figure out if he and I could sleep in here or not together all night long. I mean, there's certainly enough room. This hammock is really large, and he does like to get down. He like to get down near the feet, huh? At night, so he might be a good little foot warmer. Anyways, this is pretty nice. I had to set it up between two different trees because the other ones were a little too far apart. But anyways, wow, you know, hammocks are cool. It gives you a nice place to sit, a comfortable place to kick back, and a really super comfortable place to sleep. You really can't beat them. This one has of course has the bug net on it, and you can hang stuff from your ridge line here. You can hang a flashlight or, you know, anything else you want to hang up there, really. Now that I think about it, it might be a good place, if I wasn't zipped in here, to put Buddy's leash on here so he doesn't like barrel out of here and take off somewhere. But anyways, he seems pretty comfortable, and so am I. And here's the view. Yep, just looking up into the treetops. Super duper. There's, I think, only one real drawback with hammocks, and that is if you're going somewhere where there aren't any trees, you're kind of out of luck. So you kind of have to know in advance whether, you know, you're going to have a place to set up. So that's a little logistical thing. But anyways, so I'm going to turn this off now and just chill for a bit. Digby, do you like being in the hammock? Huh? You like being in here, boy? Boy, this is swell, isn't it? You can keep an eye on things. We can lay down and be comfortable. Hee hee, hammocks rock. Just left Big Sycamore, picked up some trash before I left, and I'm going to go back to the end of the road again. There's supposed to be a campground right down that way. Yep, there's a truck coming out of there. I might go down there sometime, but not by myself. I'm going to drive up the road here and see if it's still closed at the end. It was closed about a year ago when I was up here the last time at the end of this road, and just see if it is. It's really pretty up here, and it is pretty remote. Villermo is back down the road, but there's a Forest Service camp down there and a ranch, I think, but it's pretty sparsely populated out here. So, you know, if there was a Bigfoot, I bet he'd be living out here. Anyways, I'm going to shut this off now. Pay attention to my driving. Well, that answered that question. I'm at the end of the road. There's the sign for the Big Rock Campground, 1/4 of a mile, but there's a gate and it's shut. So, no going up there. And if I swing back this way, there's Camp Fenner. It's some kind of probably an honor camp or something, I'm guessing. Anyways, that's about all that's back here, so gonna head on out. Okay, there's Sycamore Flat over there, coming back down the hill. This really is a pretty area. I love it back here. It's one of my favorite places. I'm heading on out now. It's about, wow, it's 3:45 already. Daylight savings time hit today, so it's not going to be dark when I get home. But I still have a pretty good drive ahead of me. I think it takes about an hour and a half, something like that, depending on how fast I'm driving, to get back to West LA from here. So anyways, down over there is a Native American sweat lodge. I've seen guys back there before, not in a while, but anyways, yeah, they have their ceremonies back there. All right, I'm gonna turn this off. The road's getting too windy. I want to stay safe. So anyways, thanks for coming along today. This was fun, and I'll see you on the next one.